Hello and welcome everyone to the battle report of the Brody scenario from Campaign Book 1, part of Operation Barbarossa South, but I'm playing the Grand Campaign, so I've already played two scenarios each from the Center and North campaigns, and this is the first in the South campaigns. From the South campaign, if you watched my previous video, you will have seen that I thought that the Germans didn't stand much of a chance, but funnily enough, they actually won the scenario, and by quite big a margin. They scored the 5 medals they need, and the Russians only destroyed 2 German units. I still don't really know how that happened. I guess the Germans drew the right cards just a couple of times. They had an ambush card at a good time, and the Russians just somehow didn't manage to attack in force. They hardly drew any all cards. They have one now, but they hardly had any. So yeah, they moved forward with 2 or 3 units sometimes, but then usually one of them got pushed back by a flag result or something like that. I suppose sometimes they didn't roll extremely well, and the Germans did. And of course, you know, the regular board scenarios are such that very often you need just a handful of medals, sometimes literally. So yeah, when you only need 5 medals, the game can be over pretty quickly if you have the right cards. And there, of course, you can see that the Russians are sometimes also hampered by the Commissar rule. Russian command rules, I believe they're called officially, and the Germans can just pick whichever card is handy for them at that particular moment, and you know, that just gives them a lot more flexibility, of course, which is, you know, exactly what the rule is supposed to do, I suppose. And then sometimes you just don't have the right card beneath the Commissar chip for what it is that you need to do. The heroic leader didn't survive very long. Initially, I actually forgot that he could ignore a flag because of being a heroic leader. Otherwise, he would have been destroyed sooner. Although, in that case, he actually would have been transferred to this particular unit because I had already rolled the 2 dice and he survived. But then I thought, wait a minute, I don't want to retreat because that meant that at that particular moment, the tank unit that was attacking it was here on the hill. Could have done the overrun, which would have resulted in the kill. But later he got killed anyway. But he did do some damage. I mean, he rolled 5 dice once because he already rolled an additional die for being a heroic leader. And in that particular case, I believe it was a close assault card they played, giving them an extra die. So yeah, in that particular case, actually, it wasn't that lethal. It attacked this elite tank unit and rolled 3 flags and an infantry symbol, I suppose. I do remember that the Germans really pulled out some reserve tank units, so to speak. They weren't actually reserves, but they were held back and they were actually moved forward when they could really do some damage. This one destroyed a tank unit here, or perhaps it was an infantry unit. This one did the same with a tank unit. It started the scenario more or less over here, and then when there was a tank unit here, it moved forward and it attacked it. I believe it killed 2 tanks outright, and later it destroyed the remaining one. So yeah, the Germans actually got off on a good start when it comes to the southern part of the campaign. I hope you enjoyed watching, and see you on the next one.